What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, competitive games from tabletop to video games, and today we are taking a close look of Digimon meta decks, and to my surprise we are still seeing Garurumon having so much success, especially just coming first place on December 4th. So I was very surprised because it's been a while and I haven't been like too up to date with Digimon, so now getting back into it, playing a lot more, and I really wanted to see like the meta breakdown. So I was surprised to actually see that this deck is still doing phenomenal. Okay, so I think we're going to be seeing Garurumon for quite a bit. So today we're going to take a close look how this specific deck works and why it was doing so well. Now, don't worry, we're still going to be building some fun decks to actually post and do a lot more deck profiles. But if you guys actually enjoy a meta deck breakdown, definitely comment it down below and I'll be planning on doing a lot more of these type of videos as well. So starting first, we do have our Digi-Egg. So they're only playing 4 Sunomons and they're not playing a 5th Digi-Egg. So surprisingly, because the 5th Digi-Egg is mostly for grind games, which can actually happen. Like, I know this is a very OTK deck, but for specific situations, this is something that could actually occur. So you, for a precaution, you should definitely have the 5th Digi-Egg. So definitely, I would say 5. But besides that, let's start with the Gabumon. So we have 4 Gabumon from BT5. This is the one, if you're not familiar, is reveal the top 3 cards on play and then add 1 Garurumon and Omnimon, which is quite good because you get 2 cards. Then we have 3 of the Gabumon, that's from the structure deck 8, which is when you have 8 cards in your hand, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. So this is for both players' turn, all turns, so it's quite good, especially that you want your Digimon to have just a little bit higher attack than the most average Digimon that usually have per level. Then we do have 1 Madoki Betamon, which honestly, this is the only thing I don't really agree on. If you're planning on playing a tech card for specific decks, you should at least play at least like 2, because the odds of if this was in the security or if anything happens, there's not really any follow-up. So this I would actually put it at 2 as a minimum. Then we do have 4 Gabumon X Antibody, which is just a dead giveaway why you should play it. Digivolution for 0, and there's actually a lot of the Digimon that all the Digivolution is actually 0, so the draw power in this deck is insane. It's very fast paced, you can get all the cards that you need right away, and this has the ability on play or Digivolving, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 X Antibody, and also 1 Garurumon. Very good. Then we have the 1 Lobomon. Now, so far, every deck's been teching at least like 1 hybrid, just for that extra attack, finishing the game. And honestly, I do agree with like just 1 hybrid as a tech, but for a build like this, it's not really too necessary to even have it. So it's not really like a dead card in hand since the draw power in this deck is insane. But not all decks really need hybrids. But for this, it's like it's good to have when that occasion does occur though. And now we have 3 Garurumon from BT5. Now this is the one that if you have Gabumon in the Digivolution, you gain 1 memory, so you can pretty much Digivolve it for 1. Then he has all turns, if it has Garurumon or Omnimon, gain 1000 DP. So pretty much with him and your Sunomon, you're able to make that Digimon gain 2000 DP right off the bat. Then we have 3 Garurumon promo, which is when attacking, if this Digimon name contains Garurumon, draw 1 card, so even more draw power in this deck. Then we have the Garurumon X Antibody with Digivolution 0, which is insane because you're pretty much Digivolving a level 4 just for free, just for the draw 1. And on top of that, this, okay, has the effect that if your Digimon with Garurumon or Omnimon would be deleted by battle, you could trash 2 cards from the Digivolution with the same level. Now, this is really good since the deck pretty much just attacks only security. So if you're attacking into a security Digimon with higher DP, well, you can still keep your Digimon very well alive. And this he is playing 4 of. So yeah, definitely needs to be play 4. Then he's playing 4 of the Rare Garurumon promo, which is when attacking, if it has a Garurumon in its Digivolution, you can unsuspend this Digimon. Now you can only use that effect once per turn when attacking, which is not bad, but it's still a really good card. Then it has the inherent, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, security +1. Now, since we already did like a fast breakdown of most of the Digimon, we could clearly see that draw power is not an issue in this deck. So getting 8 cards in your hand right off the bat is very easy. Then we do have the Rare Garurumon X Antibody with Digivolution 0. Imagine that for a level 5, 0. That is insane. When Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, already good. Then, if this Digimon has Rare Garurumon or X Antibody in its Digivolution, return one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Now, this definitely could be abused very easily, and I'm kind of surprised he's only playing 3 of this one, but it's okay. But he is playing only 1 of the Sagittarius mode, which I want to mention, like Digivolution 0 as well. But it says this card / Digimon is also treated as Rare Garurumon. Now, off the bat, let me tell you, when it says this card and this Digimon, there is actually a big difference. So this card means everywhere in location, where it's in security, grave, deck, hand, board, it always counts as Rare Garurumon. But when it just says Digimon, that means just on the field. So this is something that you really have to pay attention, because sometimes some cards says only treat as the name as a Digimon, and that means that it's only applied while it's on the field. But when it says this card, that means the whole location. Then, and the reason why I mentioned that also that I want to bring up is like it counts as Rare Garurumon. So your X Antibody could Digivolve on top of the Sagittarius mode, but the Sagittarius mode cannot Digivolve on top of the X Antibody because the X Antibody's name is Rare Garurumon X Antibody, so you can't do it. But since this card is treated as just Rare Garurumon, you could Digivolve over this with the X Antibody one, but not vice versa. Then it has the same effect as the Garurumon X Antibody. So if you don't have the Garurumon X Antibody as a Digivolution, at least you're going to have the Sagittarius with the same effect. Then we have one MetalGarurumon from EX1, which pretty much the only use of it is just for a free access Digivolution. So when Digivolving, gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your hand. So you're pretty much using it for just this effect. If you're able to use the secondary effect, sure, but you're never doing that. It's pretty much just there for the first, just for a pretty much free Digivolution access, or instead of paying 4, you actually could only pay like 1 or 2. Then we have 3 MetalGarurumon X Antibody, which can Digivolve for 1 over MetalGarurumon. Now let me tell you, for the MetalGarurumon, if you used only 2 memory to Digivolve, now you're only using 1 memory to Digivolve on top of it again, which means that you're only spending 3 memory for this Digivolution. But if you're not taking that approach, then you just pay the 4 to Digivolve. But it's definitely a cheaper approach the other way around. When Digivolve, unsuspended Digimon, amazing, already good. So now you can see how the spamming attack can easily occur. And also if they're gaining DP, that's also another way that you're going to have some decently high DP Digimon starting to swing before you actually bring out this guy. Then your turn, when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, which is going to most likely do on the Digivolution, okay, and if it has MetalGarurumon and X Antibody, you can return all your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level to their owner's hand. Very good. Now we have one Omnimon with Blitz and unsuspended Digimon, and when this Digimon will be deleted or returned to hand or deck, you could trust a level 6 Digivolution instead. Quite good. But a lot of people forget that Blitz isn't the same as Rush, okay? So if you hard play the previous Digimon and then Digivolve over this, you cannot attack still, okay? And a lot of people forget that. Like, Blitz allows you to attack when it's past turn, okay? Rush allows you to attack when it wasn't like properly summoned, or it has the like summoning sickness kind of vibe. So it's not the same. I see a lot of people still trying to swing with Omnimon when they just hard played the previous Digimon before. Then we have one Omnimon X Antibody. Now, this card is insane, and this is the most brokenest card, I think. In my personal opinion, I think this card is amazing. So the Digivolution 3 for Omnimon, okay, costs 7 to Digivolve for over level 6, but it has the ability when a Digimon with X antibody Digivolves, okay, it costs 2 less. So that means for Omnimon, if it has the X antibody underneath it, it only costs 1. And even for the level 6 thing, it's not even that bad. It would cost only 5. So very good. And especially for the effect that it has. So when Digivolving, return all your opponent's Digimon with the highest level to the bottom of the opponent's deck. So this could get rid of so many cards just by returning it to the bottom of the deck. So very good card. But the most ridiculous effect is the when Digivolving or when attacking. So by placing an X antibody or a level 6 Digimon to the bottom of the deck, you get to look at your opponent's security, trash a card. Now, I don't know about you, but like in all TCG games, when you look at your opponent's hand, any card that lets you look at your opponent's hand gives you such a big advantage. And it makes you strategize for follow-up plays. You know what your opponent has. This is the same thing that's applied for security. And for security, it's a lot more harmful because not only are you trashing something that's the most nuisance card in that stack, but also you are being fully prepared for your follow-up plays on what you should attack, the order as well, for by chance if you're going to hit that other nuisance card as well. So it gives you such a big advantage, and pretty much unless if like you're winning on that turn that you played it or when attacking, for follow-up plays as well, it just gives you a big advantage. So I love this card. I think it's amazing. That is such a ridiculous effect that it has. Now we're going to go for the Tamers. So they are only playing 2 Davises, which is for a memory tamer at 2, not so bad. Like, even if you're on my deck builds, same thing. So if memory tamers, if you're not familiar, if you're at 2 or less memory, it puts you to 3. But also it gives you a free ad as well of 1 blue Digimon, so quite good. They're playing 3 cool boys. Well, honestly, I would actually might even max out on this. I would actually probably even play 4 just because the amount of X antibodies that we were playing and how we could abuse this very easily in gaining memory and drawing more cards. Then they have the Matt and Sora. Now, if you're not familiar with this card, at your main phase, the start of it, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, you gain 1 memory. Then if your opponent has 8 or more cards in their hand, you gain another memory. Now, both of these abilities are very easy to accomplish just because the amount of cards you're returning to your opponent's hand makes it very easy for them to have 8 cards in their hand. So gaining 2 memories from this card is very easy. Then it has the ability that when a blue Digimon becomes unsuspended, you may suspend this tamer, return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to the owner's hand. Quite good. Then we have 1 memory boost, which is good for definitely any blue Digimon deck as well. Then we have the 1 Ice Wall, if we need to stall. We have 3 X antibody, and then finally we have the 1 delicate plan, and this is only being able to be played if we have Sora and Matt out. So I'm not really a big fan of that, but at the same time, it's definitely a good card to have because if you are planning to go for game and you're worried about your opponent's security option cards, this can definitely just null all of them, so you don't have to worry about anything because you're not worried about your Digimon dying from battle since you already have a lot of ways of avoiding that. So definitely good. So I actually do really like this build. There's only like a few minor changes that I would do, but besides that, it's amazing. It works well. He got first place at the tournament, this guy, so congrats to him. And that's it for a deck profile. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can always follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.